Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Chris. I'm going to be showing you guys how to get started with Visual Studio in Revit. Just a couple things. One, don't be afraid of it. It'll be your friend in the end. Got to go through a couple growing pains first to get through it. If this is your first time either coding or uh, dealing with it, to be honest. Well, Revit's, if you know Revit already, that's great. That's awesome. Keep going. And then if you don't know coding, like I said, don't be afraid. It'll be your friend in the end. Just kind of have to work through the growing pains and then you'll get there. Okay, let's get started. So what we're going to do is you're going to need to first download Visual Studio, right, which we have here. Right, so we got that right. And we'll see these project templates, right? So we got consoles, apps. If you don't know what this is, that's okay. But pretty much you got a whole bunch of template stuff to get that you can open with. If you know Revit, it's kind of like opening up a project template. But what you really want in here is the Revit Addin feature. I have Revit 2019 installed right here, and I have Visual Studio also installed, and so you can go to, hopefully you have a license to Revit. You can go to the website, download a version of Revit. I don't think I need to put that in the video to show you how to do that. You should probably, or I can put a link, I guess, in the notes. And then Visual Studio, you can just go to that website and also put a link there to download what you'll need for that. Okay. The meat of this YouTube is going to be to show you just get the add-in wizard in Microsoft Visual Studio so that you can work and debug through Revit using your coding IDE, and IDE stands for no, I can't remember. Something development environment, I think. We'll get there. Anyways, this is my first video, so I'm a little nervous. Bear with me. Okay, let's get to it. Okay, so I'll put this link in the notes. This is how you're gonna get your add-in wizard created by Jeremy Tamick. This guy's awesome. He pretty much wrote the book, I think, on how to do this stuff. Him and there's another guy, Ezron. I can't remember his name, but him. And if you're in SF and you go to the San Francisco development group stuff, you'll know Alberto Tono, and then you'll know Danny Bentley. Danny Bentley also has a YouTube channel with some stuff on here too, but I'm going to kind of get more in-depth, or I'm going to try to do the simpler stuff and show you guys how to do this stuff. Okay, oh yeah, so what this stuff will allow you to do is it will allow you to create buttons, with whatever you need. For example, like creating a wall, grid lines, detail items. It'll run checks through your project too if you can rig it to do it. We'll eventually get to those. I've already created a couple buttons that we will go through. If I open up my Trello thing. Also, a quick tip, when you're watching these YouTube videos of me and perhaps things aren't taking too long, feel free to watch it at 2x speed, and typically, or as fast as you can, 1.5 or 1.75, and you'll usually be able to get it, you'll be able to understand me as I'm speaking. Okay? Alright, is this it? Nope, not that one. Here we go. Okay, so I've created a list of tutorials to go through. Okay, this is what we're going to kind of be going through. First one, always in program, is Hello World. Just pretty much just getting your program to do a pop-up button that says Hello World, right? Pretty basic and simple. That one we'll be using show task dialogues. Add wall to project. This one's pretty basic. Just click a button and a wall will appear. We'll get more into details later in the walls. Create columns, create sheets, drafting views, place detail component in drafting view. It's got its own little twist to it. Add level to project. Any ones that are green you'll see here are ones that I've created, and of course ones that don't have a tag on it are ones that I have yet to create. And if it's red, then that means that it has been posted. Okay, feel free to send me suggestions on what I should record, and I'll try to post one maybe like once or twice a week, depending on how difficult or easy they are. Okay, so yeah, add level project, stacked wall, door and family and side light, egress paths, create schedule from Excel file or CSV, comma separated variable file. Jump to referencing sheet button, attach walls. A lot of these are mostly gripes that I have against Revit that should be either buttons or commands, or Revit should have already in place, in which it doesn't right now. Pretty much, I live in San Francisco, and I work at a firm in the city, which will hopefully be unnamed. But in Revit, there's a lot of things that should be easy for us, but they aren't. I work as an architectural designer in the firm, and like half my job, is picking up red lines, or Chris do this, do that, and if it's like Chris changed this one wall type to this and do this through all like 100 walls type of thing, like I don't want to sit there and click that mundane stuff. I would really much rather be doing other things that I like doing, like designing. Anyways, I've been doing coding now on my own for the last 4 to 5 years. So done a little bit of stuff. Anyways, so these are the other ones. Okay, so these are all in category from difficulty, so easy, medium, hard. Right. Create a narrative button. If you're working architecture, you probably know what a narrative is. When you have to issue a bulletin, you also have to issue a narrative. So like I created that in PyRevit using Python, but we'll get to that. Again, with the languages of coding, don't be afraid of them. They will be your friends in the end, and they will make your life a lot easier. But we're going to try and go through the basics on this, okay? So anyways, so draw floor from CAD, draw walls from CAD. I think we all would probably appreciate this button. That one, I think I talked to Jeremy, and we have to learn some CAD.NET code, which I've yet to get into. Anyways, create guide lid place, like electrical outlets, they'll have to be, I think it's 18 inches from the floor. Don't take my word. Definitely do your own homework on where things should be placed when it relates to code. I'm definitely not liable for that stuff. If you know architecture stuff, then you probably know that can get kind of litigious and go down a very dark hole. But we're going to do our best, right? And if you don't know about it, there's also UpCodes. If you don't know about it already, UpCodes has the entire code book from, 2016. I think they release them every 3 years, right? So it's every 2013, 16, 19. I think probably goes back all the way to 2010. There'll be all different states, I believe, so you can get stuff for that. And then most of the ones we'll be using, if we ever program in to do checks in the CBC, California Building Code, we will be referencing this, right? So that includes your clearances, that includes your ADA stuff. If we can, we'll try to get into plumbing code to do calculations for how many toilets and sinks you need, and like you can run a check on your project to make sure that it has a lot of stuff. So we're gonna try and do that. Like I said, we're gonna try. Okay. Okay, so back to Trello. So in this, right, so elevate all rooms. A lot of this stuff too is being created in Dynamo, but I've found that, like for me, I didn't know Dynamo that well, and getting into it with all the lines is kind of like Grasshopper. If you didn't do that, if you got into that for Rhino, Dynamo is you attach nodes to other nodes, and you can get really lost in that stuff really fast. For me, it's easier to jump around the code. Once you understand how to read it, you'll begin to understand too. Okay, we're gonna try and take it really nice and slow. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast, right? So we'll try and do that. So the more difficult ones will be like convert CAD to Revit, right? Because elevate all rooms, compare Revit schedule with contractor's PDF schedule. Another one going to add in here is specs, spec check, with what you have in the project. So like for example, my project right now, like we have a skylight in the right, and the skylight was pretty big in the beginning. It was like 22 feet, 24, I think it was 24 feet across, and our and we said, we told our spec writer, like, hey, like, can you include this in your specs? And she was like, yeah, sure, go ahead. And like, I'll throw it down to manufacturer, please check it, like, let me know if you need anything. I'm like, okay, cool, great. So me being, like, me being the drafter, we'll call it drafter, I put it in the project, and it looked good, and then, my project manager comes back and says, Chris, we can't do this. I ask, why not? And he says, because the biggest skylight they make can only go 22 feet. So, you know, imagine the owner was not too happy about this when he says like, oh crap, you know, that's going to cost us, you know, probably a couple $1,000s to change, you know, with revisions. And yeah, so long story short, you know, you can get, of course, you know, like you don't want those things that happen to you. And if you're like me, my memory is horrible. I always have to write stuff down, and so with coding, we can also help us with that and to run these checks in our project. And so that's the whole goal of this YouTube course. If you're still listening, yeah, we'll get there, guys. Okay. All right. So might have to cut that part out. We're gonna go ahead. Anyways, so here we go. Okay, we're gonna. So what you do is, right, you're gonna go to this download. Actually, it's okay. We're gonna end this right here, and then we're gonna start another video to go ahead. Okay. If I can figure out how to stop it.